and welcome, beloveds, to the Dr. Mumbi Show. My name is Dr. MumbiSeraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways and that you are moving into living life truly on your own terms. We want to thank everyone that supports us on our Patreon and our PayPal accounts. We couldn't do this show without you. Go ahead and consider supporting us for as little as $2 a month so that we can continue to bring you all the news coming out of Africa. Now, some really amazing news. I want to thank the subscriber that shared this story with me. And it's talking about how, Black Americans are arming themselves in response to pandemic and protests. And this just didn't start yesterday. It didn't start with George Floyd, but actually at the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of African Americans started to buy their guns, get their security in order. And this is amazing because I haven't heard this anywhere. And it's so encouraging for global Black Africa because a lot of us, I keep saying, our African American brothers and sisters are like our elder brothers and sisters when it comes to certain things because they understand the enemy way better than many of us. They have been, in the den of the army of the enemy for so long. So they understand the psychology of what we're dealing with as an African people. But those are definitely stories for other days. So, there's a lot of articles that have appeared and different tweets, etc., etc. This has the Muzungu's knickers in a bunch, if I can say that. But there was even someone who was interviewed, a Philip Smith. He's the president of the National African American Gun Owners Association. And he said before 2020, they would get about 2,000 new memberships a year. But ever since 2020 began, they've been getting 2,000 new memberships a day. And let me tell you, in the first 6 months of 2020, there have been 10.5 million gun transactions. I love the way they put the words. Gun transactions in the divided states alone. And he said that, his organization had grown to more than 30,000 members this year. And he had an online following of nearly 90,000 people. But he was getting a daily registration of membership of 2,000 people. That's absolutely epic. And he said, the influx of interest in gun owning and seeking membership in Black gun owner organizations had begun as soon as a pandemic set in. And fears of a damaged economy, disrupted supply chain, and slow-moving federal responses. Smith went on to say, in his own words, if you have a half brain in your head, even saying, oh, this might get serious, let me plan accordingly. And that's what I've been saying, beloveds. Plan, 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 plan. Make sure you have your extra food, your extra water, or at least you know where your food and water is coming from. Be as self-sufficient as possible so that as Babylon falls, it doesn't pull you down with it. And, there's another guy called Derek Morgan. He's the national commander of the Black Gun Owners Association. That's different from the African-American one. And he said, whether it's fear of a food shortage, lack of grocery stores, the short response times for law enforcement, or whether people were just fearful they were going to be attacked, I don't know. But they were also seeing a lot of online traffic and they were getting a lot of calls, etc., etc. And he said, a lot of people are reaching out to us, mainly new gun owners and people who wouldn't have considered owning a gun or a firearm for their protection have been lining up to purchase firearms and access information from our website. I didn't even know there were Black Gun Owner Association organizations. This is dope. And he said, their reasoning has become much harder to ignore, especially as social media sites and phone videos turned into tools of capturing and responding to instances of police brutality. So I think 2020, as I've been saying, has been such a mega wake-up call for our people. It's not business as usual for us Africans. It's not business as usual for global Black Africa. And it sure ain't business as usual for Babylon, because Babylon is falling and is going to do everything in their power to try and stay afloat. And what we're seeing, and there's been several videos that have come out that show Black militia, young men, young guys. I swear it's awesome. Because this is the only response, by the way. For the way the world is going, it's very important that everyone, protect themselves. And it's their constitutional right. And that's what a lot of African Americans have been saying. It's my constitutional freaking right. I love it. But a lot of young men are actually even policing Black business businesses and policing black neighborhoods, because of this thing of the police, low response from the police and police targeting African Americans. I think the one good thing that has come out of everything, Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, is that it has shooken, I don't even know if that's a word, global black Africa out of this kind of like daydream and sleep. And I'm really, really happy to hear that my African American brothers and sisters are getting themselves together, because, 10.5 million guns have been bought, and the majority have not been bought by people that look like you and me. So it's very important. And we must recognize that ultimately the enemy is the person who's at the top of the pyramid, And anyway, there's so many things I could say about that. Let me know. And speaking of people making preparations here in Kenya, so many people are moving out of Nairobi, beloveds. Like, I was speaking to a friend of mine who lives by the mountain, and she was telling me daily they were seeing moving trucks. So it looks like those who have the ability are moving out. And really prepare yourselves, beloved. This thing is far from over. And you're not going to go back to business as usual. And if you think you're going to go back to business as usual, then be prepared to sell your soul to the devil, because that's what it's going to come to. We've already seen that, travel and everything will never be the same again. People are being asked for COVID certificates, etc., etc. So travel as soon as you can, prepare, make sure you have a grab and go bag. Make sure you keep up with our prophetic updates, where we'll be giving you all the little, downloads that we're getting, because it's about to get real. But this should excite you more than anything, because it means that finally the world is going to truly change for the better. And remember, whenever something is changing for the better, like remember when I used to tell you guys about living your best life, when you start chanting, I'm living my best life first, the worst comes your way, because you have to readjust many things before that living your best life can actually become a part of your reality. So it's going to get way worse before it gets way better. But if you're prepared spiritually first, you're going to be all right. Until next time, tuko pamoja.
Black power.
Black love, black love. Yeah, let's line up. Back it up, 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 back it up.